Hey, it's Ron, and I'm here with Kevin Penstock
Yes.
of The Profile. The Profile is this fabulous place in Vancouver. It's right above Steamworks Bar in a building called The Landing. It's 325 West Hastings. And Kevin, there's a bunch of incubator companies here, really, is what it feels like. There's a bunch of companies. We're one, Purely CRM. We've got an office space here. And I'd just love to hear more about, well, what gave you an idea to make this place? Why this place? What did you do?
First decision was above a bar.
Yeah. Hey, that works for us. That works for us.
You know, there's a lot to talk about when it comes to what we're doing here. I mean, we can really focus on the what we do, you know, and kind of the utility part of it. But you know, I'd love to just chat about co-working.
Okay.
You know, I think it's a word that not too many people are familiar with yet.
And it's something that I would expect to see if I was in the Valley and we're in and a bunch of IT companies are just co-working. Why am I seeing it in Vancouver and in Canada?
Interesting.
Why not am I seeing more of these in?
And why don't you think it's very prevalent here? Oh, just because
I just think it's the nature of the beast. I mean, we're mining companies, we're paper companies in Vancouver, we're shipping companies. It's not the same. It's not the Silicon Valley.
You know, I think it's a changing world. I mean, the planet. I mean, it doesn't matter where you go. You could go to Tel Aviv, you could go to Berlin, you could go to Ireland, you could go to Toronto, Vancouver. Anywhere you go now, you've got the new generation of people that are in this sharing economy.
Right.
And you know, the new generation of people that are wanting to explore this whole entrepreneurship type of career.
Yep.
You know, so it's no longer just within certain. I mean, the Silicon Valley. You know, it started because of the chip, and I mean that was a physical phenomenon. You know, they developed Intel. You know, it was the microprocessor in the Silicon Valley, and then the synergies just exploded until you got that what it is today.
Right.
You know, there's spillover everywhere around the world, but everybody likes the thought of being an entrepreneur.
Oh, I love it. I mean, I love the idea. I was even using this place before we got an office here. I was coming here occasionally, and I would just grab a desk for the day, because if I didn't want to be at a client site, and there's a lot of contract work in Vancouver. Vancouver's a contract town for IT work.
Right.
It's very easy just to come here and grab a spot, and I'd rather pay and sit here than camp in some place like a coffee shop where I don't, or you're at home. You can't work at home. My fridge is there, my TV is there. So I really think you are unique here, though. I mean, there's more than just you, but did you always want to do this? I mean, was it always in this location that you did it, or?
I mean, there's a lot to the story, of course, but you know, the people. Why did this place start?
Yeah,
it was a deep desire of an office that I wanted personally.
Oh,
So it was
really?
a little selfish. But you know what? Then I found out that I was a very typical demographic. I mean, it doesn't matter who comes in here and you talk to them.
Right.
They have the same stories I have.
Which is, so what was your story?
That was, it's a story about the individual who belongs to this community of entrepreneurship, who's building businesses, and you could be an independent worker at one moment.
Yeah.
I could partner with two people the next.
Right.
All of a sudden, my home no longer suits. I mean, I can work there if I'm by myself, but if the three of us work together, we can't go to each other's homes.
Yeah.
So now you're looking at the coffee shops.
Right.
And maybe the idea is good and you get it funded, and all of a sudden you've employed 15 people.
Right.
So you get a big office.
Right.
And then you sell it or you merge and you're back to two people again.
Right.
So there's this fluctuation, and the options for people to work are so limited.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that is just overhanging. It's an administration nightmare for people all the time. So this gives you an alternative. It's an alternative option. Absolutely.
We're sitting in the lobby of the Profile right now. You know, I agree. It is a scenario now, like, and it is a younger group. It's not because, and it's a younger group in your clientele, and it's not so much that the older people are more established and have an office to go to. I really think it is a new group that's coming along that is just, they're used to, this is what they're used to.
They're leading it for sure.
Yeah, the idea of, I worked for a company for 25 years, then we get a watch on the exit, it just doesn't exist anymore. That world is non-existent almost. And
it's the age of technology. We have the ability now. You can use this with a simple app, and we want to be together. And to go to work and then do this, just to sit down and have a chat. Yeah, it's energizing. It's fun.
Oh my God! And it would take, if we weren't here and you weren't here, to coordinate something like this would be quite an effort. So what's next? You're here. Is the goal to go to Toronto, or is the goal to go to Seattle and what they're calling Silicon North, Portland? And...
So you want to know our secret? Is that what you're asking?
No, I'm not asking for you to give it away. Come on, don't give it away.
No, it's not that I wouldn't give it away, but if you're saying, do we have big plans?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I think this is something that's I think a lot of people are liking it. And
right.
I think this is something, there's a big movement across the world right now for co-working.
Yeah.
There is. I mean, there's like, compared to a few years ago, there's now like literally thousands.
Do you know, is it just as prevalent in Calgary as it is here, or no?
It is growing at a grassroots level in almost every city you could name.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
and
really?
It can be as small as somebody starting a small little co-working space in a 4-desk environment,
right,
to companies in New York that have 1.5 million square feet.
Really?
Yes. So and it's every city somebody's pulling together something. There's like co-working forums and groups on Google.
Right.
You see it everywhere.
Wow.
So it's
But you really are. I've gone to. I've tried to go to a few different places to look, and I like. I'm not saying this because I'm interviewing you. I liked this place the best. So yeah, it worked out great.
It's an open environment. We're inviting everybody. It's not just focused on one demographic or one industry.
Right.
You know, we're saying if you're an independent or you're a small team or you're up to 10 people,
right,
you want an alternative.
And so I said tech because it is typical that it's a bunch of young tech companies doing this, but what other type of demographics do you have here? What are the type of people that
tech is an interesting thing nowadays because it doesn't matter what the industry is, there's technology involved in it. So I mean, you used to be in the automobile industry, but now the Tesla's a tech industry or automobile. It's all merging, right? Right. So I mean, everybody that's coming in here now is doing something, but there's architects in here, there's financial analysts in here, there are hardcore tech companies in here, but there's a broad range. And that's what gives the culture here. Like a lot of people have a lot of different stories to share. So.
Yeah. Well, that's fantastic. Well, hey, I think you've done an amazing thing for Vancouver, and we love it here ourselves.
Glad to have you here.
And so where can people find you on the web? Where do they go?
Theprofile.ca.
Theprofile.ca.
The Profile Vancouver for Facebook, the Profile Vancouver for Instagram and Twitter.
Right. Okay.
Just Google Co-working Vancouver.
Okay.
We're on the first page.
Okay. That's good. Yeah, we're there. Okay. Yeah. And it's Ron, and I'm with Purely CRM. We're at purelycrm.com. And Kevin, it was great to chat with you.
Absolutely, anytime.
Thanks. Okay.